Hearing those words again in her mouth made my stomach dip. Mr. Haskins' face tightened. "You don't listen to them," he said. "You listen to us." Mia's right eye flicked toward him. Her left stayed on the hallway like it was magnetized. Her voice trembled. "It says I'm safer moving." Nina shook her head hard. "It's lying." Mia's shoulder trembled. "Maybe." Then her head snapped toward the ceiling above the intersection. Not a full look up, just a tilt, like a dog hearing a click. My ears pinched. The pressure behind the eardrums hit again, hard enough that I swallowed reflexively. The flesh along the wall near the corner pulsed. Tyler saw it and said, "Back up." We all backed up without arguing. Mia didn't. She stood frozen, head still tilted, like she was caught in a thought. Mr. Haskins grabbed her wrist. Mia jerked as if shocked. Her gaze snapped down. "Don't touch me," she hissed. Mr. Haskins loosened his grip but didn't let go. "I'm not leaving you," he said. "I'm not." Mia stared at his hand on her wrist like she didn't recognize what touch meant anymore. Then, the flesh on the wall to our left made a wet sound. Not a drip, a stretch. Something inside it shifted. A bulge formed, pushing outward like a fist under skin. Jaden whispered, "What is that?" The bulge split along a seam. A thin tendril slid out, glossy, pale, and it moved like muscle, not like a plant. It didn't thrash, it tested. It made tiny, searching movements like fingers learning the air. Mr. Haskins released Mia instantly and backed up. The tendril tasted the air. I know how insane it sounds, but it did. It waved, then angled toward us with intent, like it had found vibration. Eli whispered, almost admiring, "The building's getting hands now." Tyler grabbed Jaden by the shoulder and yanked him back. "Move!" We moved. Mia moved too, straight toward the front hall. Nina screamed her name and chased. Mr. Haskins cursed, a real adult curse that sounded like it hurt him to say. He ran after them. The tendril snapped out behind us. It hit the floor where my foot had been a second earlier, leaving a wet smear like snot and blood mixed. We sprinted into the front corridor. The air changed immediately. It smelled less like gym sweat and more like old carpet and office paper, like the administrative part of the building had its own stale breath. I caught a whiff of something familiar too. Cheap vanilla air freshener from the front office, the kind that always made my head hurt during parent-teacher night. It was the smallest normal thing, and it made me feel like crying. The windows at the far end were papered over, but the paper looked thinner here. More gaps, more places where light leaked in like needle points. Mia ran right down the center of the hall as if she couldn't see the danger. Nia chased after her, shouting, "Mia, stop! Please stop!" Mia didn't stop. The flesh growth was here too. It had climbed the walls and begun to lace across the ceiling in thick ropes. A few strands dangled like something had drooled from above. One strand brushed the top of a visitor sign-in poster, and the paper puckered like it was reacting to moisture. We ran under it anyway because there was nowhere else. Behind us, I heard that wet stretch sound again. Closer. The tendril was following. Tyler panted, "It's behind us." Mr. Haskins yelled, "Keep your eyes down. Keep moving." That line sounded stupid and desperate, and also like the only rule we had. Mia reached the front double doors that led to the main entrance and the lobby. She shoved them open. The lobby was bright, not sun bright. Bright like output again. The paper on the lobby windows had been ripped in places. Thin ribbons fluttered. Daylight, wrong and white, bored through the gaps and painted the floor in shapes that didn't match the window frames. The light looked thick on the tiles, like it had weight, like stepping into it would change something about you. Mia skidded to a stop at the edge of the light, like her body finally remembered what it was afraid of. Her shoulders rose and fell fast. Nina reached her and grabbed her arm. Mia yanked away, eyes wild. "Don't!" she snapped, and her voice wasn't just fear now. It had an edge, like command. Mr. Haskins stopped a few feet back. He scanned the lobby fast, eyes low, taking in details without letting his gaze climb to the windows. There were bodies. Not close enough that I had to label them, but close enough I saw shoes and limbs, and abandoned bags, and one spilled cup from the front office coffee machine, still stained on the tile. I saw a lanyard with keys that didn't look like it belonged to a student. I saw a stapler on the reception counter tipped on its side, like someone had knocked it over while grabbing for something. The sight hit me anyway, like a punch to the chest. The school wasn't just dangerous. It had already taken people. Tyler stumbled in behind me and whispered, "Jesus." Eli drifted into the doorway last and paused, like he was smelling the air for fun. "This is where it started spreading," he murmured. Mia stood at the edge of the light. Her left eye shimmered. Her right eye was normal and terrified. The contrast made my stomach twist harder than any monster shape. Nina's voice cracked. "Mia, come back. We can keep you in the cafeteria. We can watch you. We can..." Mia shook her head fast. "It won't stop in there." Mr. Haskins said low, "What won't?" Mia swallowed and looked at the floor between her shoes like the answer was written there. "The pulling," she whispered. My skin went cold. "Pulling?" Mia nodded once, stiff. "It wants me closer to the light." Eli whispered. "Marked gets called." Tyler snapped. "Shut up!" A new sound filled the lobby then, faint at first. Clicking. Not the ruler bugs. This was heavier, slower, like knuckles cracking in sequence. The sound came from the hallway behind us. Mr. Haskins tightened his grip on the yardstick. "Back," he whispered. "Back to the cafeteria now." We turned to retreat, and the flesh growth above the lobby doorway pulsed. A strand dropped, thick as a wrist, slick and pale, and it slapped onto the tile in front of Tyler with a wet thump. Tyler jumped back, swearing. The strand twitched, then it reached. It moved like muscle. It curled toward his ankle. Tyler kicked at it reflexively. His shoe connected, and the strand didn't recoil like rubber. It flexed and tightened, like he'd just alerted it he was here. Jaden shouted, "Tyler!" Tyler stumbled backward, and the strand snapped forward, fast, looking around his lower leg. It tightened. Tyler's face went instantly white. He grabbed at it with his hands, then hesitated like he remembered every warning about Tut. It didn't matter. The thing was already on him. Mr. Haskins lunged and swung the yardstick down on the strand. Metal hit flesh matter with a wet clang. The strand spasmed but didn't let go. Mr. Haskins hit it again, harder. The strand loosened for half a second, and Tyler yanked his leg free, stumbling back so hard he fell on his ass. His jeans were smeared with that pale residue. It clung like mucus and didn't slide off. It sat there, thick, like it was deciding whether to soak in. Tyler stared at his leg, breathing hard, like he couldn't decide if he should scream or vomit. Nina grabbed Mia's arm again. "We're leaving. Now." Mia didn't move. She stood at the edge of the light, trembling. Her left eye flicked toward the torn paper on the window like it was magnetized. "Mia," Mr. Haskins said, voice sharp now. "Move. We can't stay here." Mia whispered, barely audible. It's quieter here. That's a lie, Nina hissed, and tears ran down her face without slowing her. You're listening to a lie. And tears ran down her face without slowing her. You're listening to a lie. Mia's lips parted, and then she did something that made my stomach drop through the floor. She stepped forward, into the light. Nina screamed and grabbed her hoodie, trying to yank her back. The hoodie didn't shift. It held like skin. Mia turned her head slowly and looked at Nina with that oily left eye shimmering like a puddle under streetlights. Her voice came out flat. Fear not. Nina froze like she'd been slapped. Mr. Haskins stiffened. Mia, he warned. Mia blinked, and for a second, her right eye looked like Mia again, horrified at what she'd just said. She whispered, I didn't mean... The clicking sound behind us got closer. Something heavy moved in the hallway. Mr. Haskins snapped. We're leaving, Mia. We are leaving right now. Mia's shoulders shook. She took one step back out of the light as if it burned. Nina exhaled like she'd been holding her breath for a year. Then, the lobby lights, dead but still there, made a soft pop sound. Every emergency exit sign brightened. The white daylight at the windows flickered. I felt that pressure in my ears again, and the metallic taste flooded my mouth like I'd bitten a penny. The clicking became a wet clicking, like joints moving with lubrication. From the hallway behind us, something slid into view. I didn't look straight at its face. I saw it in pieces. A long limb, another. A body that stayed low and then rose like it could decide its height. A surface that looked like it was made of the same flesh stuff as the walls, but organized into structure. The strands on the ceiling above it seemed to tense as it passed, like they were attached to it by invisible thread. And on its front, one huge eye, glossy and black, reflecting the lobby light in a way that made it look like it held the whole room inside it. The Watcher. It moved into the lobby with slow certainty, like it owned the air. Jaden made a sound that was almost a sob. Tyler scrambled backward, smearing residue across the tile. Nina pulled Mia toward us, desperate. Move! Mia stared at the Watcher. Her left eye shimmered harder, like the film thickened. The Watcher stopped a few steps into the room and tilted its head. Not up, sideways, like it was listening to Mia. Then a voice came, not from its mouth. There still wasn't one I could see, more like from the space around it, vibrating in the tile and in my teeth. Fear not. Mia whispered it back, quieter, like an echo. Mr. Haskins' face broke for half a second, like he was watching a student get pulled into a current and he couldn't reach. He shouted, Mia, look down, look at me. Mia's right eye flickered toward him. Her left stayed on the Watcher. Her voice trembled. It says I can stop the pulling if I go with it. Nina sobbed. That's not true. The Watcher moved one step closer. The flesh growth along the walls responded. Strands tightened. Nodules pulsed like they were sinking to its movement. The strand that had grabbed Tyler lifted off the floor and coiled back up the wall as if called. Mr. Haskins grabbed Mia's wrist with both hands and yanked her toward the hallway back to the cafeteria. Mia resisted. Not fully, not violently, like someone half asleep resisting being woken. Tyler shouted, Run! Run now! The Watcher's huge eye rotated slightly, tracking. A strand of wall flesh snapped loose and lashed across the doorway behind us, sealing the corridor we'd come from with a thick, pale rope that stuck to both sides of the frame. We had the cafeteria direction behind us blocked now. We had the front doors, which led outside into the light. My stomach dropped. Mr. Haskins looked left, right, down, like he was doing impossible math. The watcher moved again, closer. Mia's left eye shimmered like oil disturbed by a finger. Nina clutched Mia's arm so tight her knuckles went white. "We go anywhere else," Nina gasped. "We go anywhere, just not outside." Eli spoke from behind us, calm as if he was discussing a homework assignment. "Outside is the only exit that isn't grown shut." Mr. Haskins turned on him, voice raw. "Shut up." Eli didn't flinch. "It wants you to choose," he said softly. "Inside, it grows. Outside, you look." The watcher's voice came again, closer now, vibrating through the tile. "Fear not." Mia whispered, "It forgives." Mr. Haskins shook her hard, just once, not to hurt her, but to anchor her. "Mia," he barked, "you are here. You are in this room. You are with us. Do you hear me?" Mia blinked. Her right eye focused. For a second, it was her again, fully, and she looked terrified and ashamed all at once. Her lips trembled. "I'm sorry," she whispered. Nina made a broken sound and tried to pull her into a hug, but the fused hoodie made the motion awkward, like hugging someone wrapped in tape. The watcher moved. Fast this time. It slid forward with a glide that ate distance. Mr. Haskins shoved Nina and Mia behind him and raised the yardstick like a spear. The watcher's long hand extended, fingers jointed like tools, reaching for Mr. Haskins' head. I saw his face in that moment. Fear, yes, but also something else. A decision. He wasn't going to step aside. He wasn't going to bargain. He swung the yardstick straight at the watcher's eye. Metal flashed. The yardstick hit something invisible a foot from the eye and stopped dead, like it struck a wall of thick glass. The recoil jolted Mr. Haskins' arms. The watcher didn't flinch. His hand closed around the yardstick and bent with slow pressure, holding metal like a cheap spoon. Mr. Haskins' eyes went wide. Tyler grabbed my shoulder and yanked me backward. "Ben, move!" My heel caught on a tile seam and I nearly went down. Nina screamed. Jaden shouted something useless. Mia made a thin, strangled sound. The watcher's other hand reached past the yardstick, past Mr. Haskins, toward Mia, toward that oily left eye, toward the mark. And the flesh growth on the walls answered like it had been waiting. Strands snapped loose from the ceiling and whipped down across the lobby in a net of pale tendrils, sealing off the open space, blocking the hallway, closing around us like the building was making a fist. Mr. Haskins shouted, "Down!" We dropped instinctively, faces to tile, eyes on floor. A tendril slapped the ground inches from my head. I felt droplets hit my cheek, warm and sticky. They smelled like salt and copper. Nina was sobbing somewhere close, trying to keep quiet and failing. Mia whispered, frantic and small again, "I don't want this." The watcher's voice came down through the net of flesh and dust. "Fear not." Something wrapped around my ankle. It tightened, hard. I grabbed the tile seam with my fingers as the pull started, my whole body jerking forward. My nails tore. Pain flared. Tyler grabbed my wrist, yanking back. Teeth bared, face twisted with effort. Jason grabbed Tyler's belt and pulled. We became a chain on the floor, sweaty hands slipping, shoes squeaking as we braced. The tendril around my ankle tugged again, stronger, dragging me toward the lobby light. The paper on the windows fluttered like something outside had breathed on it. Mr. Haskins screamed Mia's name, like the sound could pin her in place. Nina screamed too, and in the middle of it, as my body slid across tile and the tendril tightened like a winch, Mia's voice cut through, clearer than it had been all day, panicked and human. "Ben!" she yelled. "Don't let it make you look!" The tendril yanked hard. My head snapped up despite myself. My eyes lifted toward the lobby windows, toward the torn paper, toward the white, flickering daylight beyond. And in that split second, before I could slam my gaze down again, I saw something move on the other side of the glass. Something vast, bright, and layered with too many shapes to hold in one glance. It didn't look like a person. It didn't look like an animal. It looked like a presence wearing geometry, stacked on itself, bright enough that my brain tried to flinch away from the idea of it. My stomach dropped out. The world tilted. The watcher's huge eye reflected it all. And the pulling on my ankle turned into a full-body haul, like the building finally got purchased. Tyler's grip on my wrist slipped. My fingers tore free of the tile seam. I opened my mouth to scream, and only air came out as I got dragged across the lobby floor, straight toward the light, straight toward the torn paper, straight toward whatever was waiting on the other side. Some stories end when the words stop. Others don't end at all. If you enjoyed this story, there are many more waiting in the dark. Until next time.